What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Kaylin back again with another video. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a part 2 to my scholarship videos. I'm trying to tell y'all how to get some money because obviously y'all want me to get all the money. Nobody's out here getting these scholarships, and I'm here to give you some tips, like help you guys out. So I'm going to be providing a couple more tips than I did in the first video. Some of them might be the same, but I am a junior at Clark Atlanta now, and so the things that we're doing freshman year to get scholarships is not necessarily the same thing that I am doing this year. So I'm going to share a little bit with you guys about what I'm doing and how I keep getting all this money, because it's enough out here for everybody. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, you guys, so for my first tip would be a good essay. Now this is something I had already talked about in the previous video about everything you need in the essay, but basically a good essay is consistent of 3 things. First part is like you're going to tell them about yourself and tell them why you are doing this. Why do you need this scholarship? Like for example, my scholarship essay, it starts out with, hi, my name is Kaylin Carter. I am a rising junior at Clark Atlanta University. I have always loved broadcast journalism. This is why I want to do it. The second part kind of moves into your story. Who are you? What happened in your life to the point where you need this scholarship? Like, why can't you afford school, basically? And this is really where you put in your sob story. You tell them like, hey, when I was 13, I started having to take care of myself, and I was out here fighting for my life.
All my life I had to fight.
Yada yada yada. Like, you just give them your sob story, but you tell them how that makes you who you are today. So like the first part, you'll go in like, hi, my name is Kaylin Carter. I started having to work a job to support my family at the age yada yada. Because of this, I understand the importance of good leadership and the importance of finances, and I will use this scholarship in order to enhance my education so that I can do this, that, and the third to give back to my community. Then at the end, you're going to come in, you're going to wrap it all up, and you're going to basically thank them for the opportunity to even interview for the scholarship or to receive the scholarship. So you would say something to the effect of, on behalf of everybody who has applied for this, I thank you so much for the opportunity to even apply for the scholarship. And basically that's about it. As long as you have like those components, that's what makes a good essay. And don't just come up with something the night before and turn it in. You need to have people that will look over your scholarship essay and basically guide you and help you out. And even if you don't have those people, it's really easy to be able to go online and just make sure that your essay doesn't have any grammatical errors. Like little things like that is what can keep you from getting that scholarship. And everybody wants to secure the bag, so make sure that you're doing what you need to do. You're reading over it, and you're just making sure everything at the very bare minimum looks good. Whether it's consisting of the right things, first off, does it look good? Does it have what it needs to have grammatically? And then you can look at the content at which you made the essay. The next thing that I would say is having good people in your corner. This is one of the most important parts of applying for scholarship, is that you have to have people in your corner. I am so blessed and so fortunate that I have so many people that if I text them right now and say I need a letter of recommendation, they're gonna be like, type up once and send it to me so that I can edit it up. I get it to you today. Like literally, I have so many people, and that's why it's so important to harness good relationships, whether it's at your job, whether it's at your school, at your high school. Honestly, I still use my IB coordinator. He still does all of my recommendations for the scholarships that I apply. I cannot think of not one that I've applied to and he hasn't written my letter of recommendation for when needed. Like, he's gonna get it in, and that's why it's so important to have somebody that's gonna support you in that way. Like, I had a teacher who even went with me to Starbucks and sat with me for like 4 hours sitting there trying to help me apply for scholarships, and I'm so thankful. Like, those type of people don't come every day, so it's really important that you find somebody that you have a connection with, somebody that mentors you or supports you, who's in your corner, who will be able to do those things for you. Now, the biggest part of that is that a lot of my recommendations, they don't have to rewrite it. you know, a lot of the time I'll have them even send it to me so that I have a copy of it. So if I ever need a recommendation like on the fly, I'll be like, well, if you don't have it, I have it. I can send it to you. You can just edit it up in your words, and then I'll be able to turn it in just as long as you can get it back to me, and they'll do it. So make sure that you got people who support you. Like,
Hurry, girl, I got your back.
Like, who's in your corner? You know, who's helping you out? And so think about those people who you have a good connection with and who speak highly of you, and those will be the ones that you want to do the recommendation. You don't want nobody that's not gonna say superb things about you. Okay, so the next question is, where am I applying to these scholarships? Like, where am I finding these scholarships? This is probably the biggest question that I get asked on a daily basis. So I'll start off with freshman year. It was really, really important that I received a lot of renewable scholarships. Fortunately, I was able to receive a few. A lot of the ones that I got, they were not renewable. They were like one-time scholarships. But the ones that were renewable, I'll get those for the rest of my educational career. So my tuition is $40,000. So if I found 4 $10,000 renewable scholarships, then I'm set for the rest of my education. And the thing about it that we all have to really, really think about is the fact that your tuition is probably not going to stay the same from freshman year to senior year. We're not going to need most of those. First of all, we don't need most of those things they put in our tuition in the first place. But that's a story for a different time. But yeah, so like most of the things that I needed freshman year, I don't need now. Like freshman year, I didn't need the health insurance. I still don't need that today. So that's something I can waive off. A meal plan, I don't need the biggest meal plan because I don't stay on campus anymore. So like these are things that are going to change. And fortunately, you know, the more renewable scholarships you got, then the better you are covered, and then the bigger the refund check, because yeah, run me my money. So at this point in my career, at first I was applying a lot I applied to like one scholarship at UNCF, I believe. And this was like senior year to freshman year, like right before I got to college. I applied to a lot of local scholarships. So especially like if you're just going into college, I really recommend looking at places like around your town, like banks, churches, those type of places. They have scholarships, and a lot of the time they don't have anybody to give it to. So you really want to look for like smaller churches or like smaller banks, local banks. They're the ones that are giving the money. After I got to college, I started to apply to UNCF. I would go to our financial aid office. Child, I go to HBCU, so that tells you enough about our financial aid office. So I was up in there all the time to the point where I got their phone numbers, like their cell phone numbers, like they know me, because I was not having it and I was very on top of my stuff. And so I was fortunate enough to, you know, get told about different scholarship opportunities that we had. So I first recommend, you know, looking at local places. After you look at local places, I would go to the financial aid office. It's best to go in person. I personally think, I know that they don't want you going in person, but I personally believe it is best to go in person, because then I see you face to face. So you're gonna have to give me a good answer, because I'm not leaving unless you give me the information I need to know. Okay, so they would tell me, you know, like, hey, here's a list of scholarships. They would have like a little booklet. And fortunately for my city, where I was coming from, Columbus, Georgia, they on the website for like the school district, they would have a tab on the school district's website that had like a list of scholarships. So it was very helpful that I was able to like look at those scholarships, apply to those, and some of those were renewable, or even if they weren't renewable, I would reapply for those. So just looking for a list of good scholarships was really important. When I would go to the financial aid office, she'll say, hey, like go to this website, go to this website. And a lot of the time, like on uncf.org, they would have scholarships that were only for people who go to school in the AUC. So because they had that, I was able to receive a lot of scholarships that way, because let's be honest, a lot of people aren't out here applying for these scholarships. A lot of people are out here complaining about they don't have the money to go to school, but not applying for the scholarships in the right way. Like honestly, since I put in that work freshman year, it made it so much easier for me at this point. So you really got to put in that work, and not a lot of people were doing that. And I feel like that's what gave me like the leverage. That's what gave me the upper hand in applying for these scholarships, because there were so many people weren't going on there every day looking at it, which I did. It does not take long because it's kind of like Common App. It already has all your information in there. It probably takes me 5 minutes to apply for a scholarship. And so you have to find those websites, like those places to apply for scholarships where it's not very time consuming, because once you got everything set that you need, then the money's gonna start rolling in, because it's not gonna take you long to do, and you'll be able to just get in, get out. So I was applying to UNCF, and so a lot of the scholarships that I received from UNCF are renewable, so I don't have to worry about reapplying. Like, I used to spend every month looking at the new scholarships, and I really don't even have to do that at this point, thank God, because a lot of my scholarships are renewable. So looking at websites like uncf.org, the Community Foundation of, we have Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta, or you can look at Community Foundation of your area. A lot of scholarships are only for, if you're from California or if you're from Chicago. So looking for those scholarships are the best. I like scholarships.com and like those type of websites, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never received a scholarship from them. A lot of my scholarships come from UNCF. So another question that a lot of people ask me, in regards to like getting scholarships from UNCF would be, are they only for HBCU students? So a lot of the scholarships that I do receive, they, as I said, they are like for only AUC students or only Clark Atlanta students, but a lot of them are for anybody. Now the problem is that like I have like 3 scholarships that are like just general scholarships, like Panda Express, for example. Like, it's a scholarship that's for people across the board, PWIs. Like, in the group chat, there's people from all over the United States that have received this scholarship. So something that I would recommend doing is that, once you go on places like uncf.org, look at those scholarships, and if you go to a PWI, look at the title of those scholarships, look at the requirements, and then if it doesn't say anything necessarily about a HBCU, take that scholarship and look it up on their website, like Target Scholars and things of that nature. Take those scholarships, because it's really just a database. So once you go and you find the name of those scholarships, go look it up on Google and see is there another place that you can apply. I'm not sure if you can apply to the scholarships if you do not go to a HBCU. Like, if your school is not a part of UNCF, like there are like 34 schools, I think, a part of the UNCF Foundation. And so if your school is not one of those schools, I would look up the scholarships just randomly on Google and see if there's another place where you can fill out the application. Because I didn't even know until after I received the scholarship that, it was for anybody could receive it. So doing the research is really, really important, and it just makes your life easier. And once you start getting them, you're going to get the hang of it, and you're not going to need to apply for so many because you're going to be getting the money. So yeah. Okay, so lastly, this is just like the last tidbit of things that I am doing now to get scholarships in my junior year of college. The last thing I would say is understanding the best times to apply for scholarships. So I personally would say that during the summer, in the middle of the school year, are the best times to apply for the scholarships. So not really necessarily soon as we get to school, like that August, September area, only because you can apply to scholarships then and you have a great chance of winning. And honestly, let's be honest, the only way that you can win things or that you'll get things in life, and I really, really, really do believe this, is that if you are prepared. You can get anything in life if you are prepared. You know what they're looking for and you give them what they were looking for. If you half do it, or you're not doing what you need to do in order to get it, of course you're not going to get it because you did not do what you were supposed to do. But as long as you look at the requirements and you fill them out, you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get it. And I truly do believe that. And so yeah, you can apply August, September, but honestly I believe that that's the time that we first get to school. Everybody who's not financially enrolled or whatever, they're out here trying to do these scholarships because they need the money to go to school. That's when really everybody is out here. I feel like that's when the most competition is. like towards November, December, like during that time, people really stopped doing scholarships. Like after we didn't, because really you're doing scholarships to pay for school. If you're not in school by then, you're not financially enrolled by then you're getting dropped for your classes. Like that's just what it is. So if you wait until like towards, don't necessarily wait, but if you try to really apply for a lot of scholarships towards like the winter time, though you'll have a better chance of getting it, only because so many people stop doing scholarships. And then I also believe like around summertime is really important, and I don't mean towards the end of summer, because I think that towards the end of summer, beginning of school, that's when everybody's trying to apply for scholarships. Soon as we leave from school and summer break starts, that's when you should really be putting that work in, applying for scholarships, because especially the ones that like open around that time, close around that time, because that's when less people are applying for scholarships, because you know everybody's going home, we're worried about what we're gonna do for summer vacation, you know, trying to see what we're about to do, you know, to take a little break from school. It's vacation time, ain't nobody worried about scholarships, but you should be.
Cause the bills due now, not later.
And that is the perfect time to be applying and putting in the work. So just understanding, you know, the times, and there's really no bad time to apply to scholarships. You should do it all the time, especially if you need the money. And the more you apply, the better chance you have of winning some. You just have to really get the hang of it and start practicing. That's what's been done for me. Making sure that I'm communicating with the right people. Connect with people on LinkedIn if you have to. And I've just been so blessed to the point where people call me and tell me, hey, I need you to apply for this scholarship, or go ahead and apply for this. You have a good chance of winning. You know, and that's come from applying to the point where I've won them and I've built these great connections. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I do in order to win these scholarships. If you want more tips, I have them in my other video. I'm gonna link it over here somewhere in this area at the end of the video, and so that you guys can go ahead and watch that. If you have any questions, if I can help you guys in any way, then here are my socials down here. You can go ahead and you can DM me, contact me. I promise to get back to you. If you want to see more videos like this, or just more videos about school, you want a little room tour, go ahead and comment down below, and I'll make sure that I get those videos done for you guys. I thank you guys so much for, you know, letting me know what's working for you, what's not working for you, and communicating with me. I want to help you guys in any way that I can. So I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps, and I'll see you in my next one. Thanks, bye.